Yep. Hey, come say hi. You don't want to say hi?
I do not want to say hi.
She won't do it. My beloved better half.
Hello, I will say hello.
Michelle is going to go help a friend. We were going to go live last night, and we were going to do a show Monday, but you get the Wednesday show. Today is August 28th, 2019, and you get me. And me, and me, and me. Speaking of encouraging news, the Border Patrol has unveiled 60 miles of new U.S.-Mexico border wall and drone footage. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection has unveiled a stretch of new border wall on the southern border, and it is said to have completed 60 miles in all. Construction crews continue to work on the new border wall system along the southwest border near San Luis. So far, more than 60 miles have been constructed along the southwest border since 2017. The agency is expected to complete 450 miles by the end of 2020. Yo. So, obviously no sound here with the drone footage, but check this out, y'all. 60 miles. It's a big, beautiful wall. And I actually kind of like this one, that you can see through it. Hard to scale, but you can see what's on the other side. And you can obviously see for miles in either direction. And this was wall that wasn't here before. There you can see it's going on. It's still being completed down that direction. Go wall. So that's some good news, right? So this is the fake news media. I couldn't watch chicken video. That's okay. Mom kind of blurred out anything, but yeah, they taste good. How come people who hate Trump because of his tone never seem to have a problem with the tone of the Democrat Party and its supporters? I think it's also because that they portray it as like righteous rants, you know? But this is crazy. A former chief of Duke University psychiatric department went on CNN this weekend to claim that President Trump is mentally unfit for office, and then proceeded to up the hyperbole quotient to unprecedented levels. I'm just going to play this, but oh my gosh.
Diagnose. Right, without saying I'm diagnosing, because you've never met the man.
Okay,
you can just...
let's see. Got to turn us back on. That Trump is as destructive a person in this century as Hitler, Stalin, and Mao were in the last century. He may be responsible for many more million deaths than they were. There was a time when that would have gotten you kicked off of Brian Stetler, who, why is he on? Who's watching this bald guy? And nothing wrong with being a bald guy, but like, he's just, it's one thing, you know, when good things are coming out of somebody's mouth and you just see the person for who they are. It's another thing to have this like frog man on TV and all this disgusting puke that's coming out of his mouth. It's like, ugh, get rid of this guy. But anyways, he should be off the air. And obviously the psychiatrist who said that Trump may be responsible for many more millions of deaths than Hitler, Stalin, and Mao. Really?
Describe what you're seeing. So, Dr. Francis, I know you disagree with this view that Dr. Lee and a couple other dozen psychiatrists have published in this book. You say it's dangerous to be talking this way. Why?
Well, I think that medicalizing politics has three very dire consequences. The first is that it stigmatizes the mentally ill. I've known thousands of patients. Almost all of them have been well-behaved, well-mannered, good people. Trump is none of these. Lumping the mentally ill with Trump is a terrible insult to the mentally ill, and they have enough problems and stigma as it is. The second issue is that calling Trump crazy hides the fact that we're crazy for having elected him, and even crazier for allowing his crazy policies to persist. Trump is as destructive a person in this century as Hitler, Stalin, and Mao were in the last century. He may be responsible for many more million deaths than they were. He needs to be contained, but he needs to be contained by attacking his policies, not his person. It's crazy for us to be destroying the climate our children will live in. It's crazy to be giving tax cuts to the rich that will add trillions of dollars to the debt our children will have to pay. It's crazy to be...
So he's literally using politics to say it's crazy. So if you deny climate, then you are basically worse than Chairman Mao and Hitler because you're responsible for people's death. If you do not want to pay off people's students' loans, then you're responsible for people's deaths. This guy is off the rails.
He's destroying our democracy by claiming that the press and the courts are the enemy of the people. We have to face these policies, not Trump's person. Now, it's absolutely impossible. You can bet the House that the Congress, that Pence, that the cabinet will never, ever remove Trump on grounds of mental unfitness. That will never happen. Discussing the issue in psychological name-calling terms distracts us from getting out the vote. And the important thing is to get Trump out of...
I can't even. It says when he talks about how it would be acceptable, he then suggests that it would be acceptable to lie about Trump's mental state if there would be a way to use that false narrative to get him out of office. He literally said later on, I guess, I think it's very clear that he's dangerous because he's evil. He's not dangerous because he's mentally ill. And the mentally ill argument, if it would get him out of the office, I would say go with it, even if it's inaccurate. Anything to get this man out of office, but it won't work. So piling on inaccuracy stigma, the press will get people who know nothing about psychiatric diagnosis spouting off at the mouth. It won't add to the discussion. It will only distract from the political stuff we have to focus on. Dr. Lee sat quiet during the Francis segment. Nevertheless, a month ago, she and several peers testified in an online gathering that President Trump was psychologically unfit for the presidency. In that testimony, James Murakatgas of George Washington University says Trump's campaign rallies are like the Nuremberg rallies that Adolf Hitler had. I've been to Trump rallies. They're nothing of the sort. And says it's a dangerous and unprecedented degree in our history. So when we say that the press is the enemy of the people, it's because the hyperbolic and they're evil. Like what Hitler did and what Mao did and what Stalin did is very evil. And guess what? The Communist Party is still alive and well. Chairman Mao is venerated and used in China. And if they really cared, then they would be covering Hong Kong in a positive light for the Hong Kongers 24/7. But they don't, because they're a bunch of crazy hypocrites. So there you go. Let's see. Thomas Massey, he voted with the squad to boycott Israel. Are you sure the BDS movement? I don't think that he did. He is pro-Israel. Maybe you might have gotten that one wrong. Maybe mistaken, possibly. Possibly. I think he was the actual psychiatric patient. Absolutely, I do. Let's see. This is kind of important. Google is burying alternative health sites to protect people from dangerous medical advice. So anything that's not CDC approved, anything that's not, over-the-counter, big pharma. For their unorthodox views, some physicians are being treated as medical, heretics. Google's search engine algorithm has essentially ended traffic to their websites. And so the totalitarians claim noble goals for their book burning. They want to spare citizens unhappiness caused by having to sort through conflicting theories. Censorship is control. The real aim of censorship is to control us. And let's see. When making decisions, we often face conflicting theories. And, we're always faced with different things about what we should eat, what we should wear, what we should put in our bodies. But we should be able to have all that at our fingertips to look through and read. let's see. Nobel laureate in economics Vernon Smith was taking a prescribed statin and recently observed the impact it was having on him. In the last week, I had a very clear now experience of temporary memory loss. I did a little searching and found this article summarizing and documenting the evidence over many years. Such incidences have been widely reported, but the problem did not arise in any of the clinical trials, but neither were they designed to detect it. Statin effectiveness in reducing heart and stroke events needs to be weighed against this important negative. Since I am actively writing, this is a primal concern for me, and I have stopped taking it. A free person understands that there is no one best pathway. Although experts have the knowledge, and when I took Mom to the hospital, she had a mini blood clot. She had a blood clot. They immediately wanted to get her on the statins. And I started to look at the side effects. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then I read the numbers. These are from the companies themselves that said, while the risk of having another incident, whether it be a stroke or a heart attack or whatever, was decreased by taking the statins, life expectancy was not increased. I was like, people died of other stuff. Maybe not the stroke or the heart attack, but they died of other stuff. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I wanted to go on Google and see, okay, what could be a natural, because these statins are basically cholesterol medicines, are designed to thin your blood and break things up. Sorry, I'm getting kind of hot. Thin your blood and break things up. I'm not telling you how to take your cholesterol medicine. You got to do what you got to do. But we got to do, and I want all the information available to me. And I don't want to watch a 60-second commercial and just hear all the side effects, that run, risk of, driving your car into a tree or something crazy like that. Healthcare 451. Some people don't like to take responsibility for their health choices. They prefer to be told they prefer to be told by the doctor. And do you understand now why books are hated and feared? Asked Bradbury's character professor in Fahrenheit 451. Favorite response to his own rhetorical question: because they reveal the pores on the face of life. The comfortable people want only wax moon faces, poreless, hairless, expressionless. Bradbury is reminding us that life is messy. Often there is no comfortable one-size-fits-all solution to the challenges we face. Despite the evidence against statins, the medical orthodoxy would like you to believe that those who question statins are being hoodwinked by fake news. Duke University's Dr. Anne-Marie Navarre is the associate editor of JAMA Cardiology. In her article, Fear-Based Medical Misinformation, she rails against the fake medical news and fear-mongering that plague the cardiovascular world through relentless attack on statins. She writes, many patients remain concerned about statin safety. In one study, concerns about statin safety were the leading reasons that patients reported declining a statin, with more than 1 in 3 patients, 37%, citing fears against adverse effects. Dr. Navarre takes a position that concerns about safety are fake medical news. Fake news, Dr. David Brownston disagrees. The Physician's Dex reference states that adverse reactions associated with Lipitor include cognitive impairment, memory loss, forgetfulness, amnesia, memory impairment. So then you're looking like you are suffering Alzheimer's when you're not. Furthermore, post-marketing studies have found Lipitor use associated with pancreatitis. Other researchers have reported a relationship between statin use and Lou Gehrig's disease. Finally, peer-reviewed research has reported a relationship between statin use and cataracts. Statins being associated with serious adverse effects has nothing to do with fake news. These are facts. Okay? So Google has tipped the scales. Mercola.com, operated by Dr. Joseph Mercola, I go to his site a lot, is one of the most visited websites providing the alternative views to medical orthodoxy. If I were researching statins, I would certainly read several of the essays questioning statin use and the cholesterol theory of heart disease. Essays at Mercola.com usually provide references to medical studies. Personally, since Mercola sells supplements and I'm a supplement skeptic, I read the essays like I read all medical essays with a grain of salt. Dr. Kelly Brogan is a psychiatrist who has helped thousands of women find alternative to psychotropic drugs prescribed to treat depression. And so she's helped people. These unorthodox views are being treated like they're not going to come up in your websites and in your search results anymore. From time to time, Google updates algorithms determining how search results are displayed. There is nothing inherently nefarious in such actions. Google has achieved its market position by doing a better job than other search engines. According to Mercola, before Google's recent June 19th algorithm update, Google research results were based on crowdsourced relevance. An article would ascend in rank based on the number of people who clicked on it. After its June 19th algorithm update, Google is relying more on human quality raters. Google instructs raters that the lowest rating should go to the YMYL page with inaccurate, potentially dangerous medical advice. Your life, your money. We have a very high page quality rating standards for your money, your life pages, because low quality, your money, your life pages could potentially negatively impact users' happiness, financial, whatever. Does that sound reasonable? If a site argues for treatments other than the medical orthodoxy, then by definition, the site can arouse readers' cause for concern and, for some people, unhappiness. Do we really want Google to assume the role of your medical doctor? You've got people probably being paid $10 or $15 an hour deciding whether baking soda treatment for cancer is worth clicking on. This is fascism. So Google plays the happiness doctrine. Google isn't eliminating access to alternative health pages. It's making them harder to find. And, you know, they bury Alex Jones, they bury everybody. And so I want you to be aware of what's happening. If you really want to Google something, go to DuckDuckGo. We say Google search something. Order! Yeah, we only have 11.5 years left thanks to AOC. Don't fight to order food. We got the more food. All right. So, guys, remember, we have a P.O. Box 107. Milford, Ohio 45150. If you want to send us your letters, we want to read them on air. Like I said, I got some stuff to show you guys on Friday. Friday's a good day for that anyways. Thank you guys for being here. This has been fun. Fun for me to just kind of hang out with you. So I don't have to worry about talking over Michelle, which I tend to do. And apologize profusely. I just get so much going, and she tries to talk, and I just like cut her off. And so now I just cut myself off because of my own thoughts. The joke. All right. Remember, it's not just conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Right? They're coming at us from all angles, but we're going to take them down with the power of God.
Oh, when you mentioned Google, did you mention that it has like 12 companies that it's invested in its pharmaceutical?
Google has invested in pharmaceutical companies. That's why they're putting down natural stuff. There's no money in baking soda.
But they themselves are invested, so they're actually rigging the system.
They're rigging the system.
For themselves.
All right, guys. I got some dogs here. They need they got some ants in their pants. So let's go get those ants out of those pants. I love you guys. God loves you, and God bless. And we will see you Friday at 6 o'clock and Sunday at 1. We're gonna be here, God willing. No earthquakes or craziness. We will be here Sunday at 1, hopefully. All right, guys. So I'm gonna sign off here. Thanks, Michelle, for helping me get everything set up. And now I have to. All I'm supposed to do is shut it down. So where we go, we're there, we're gone there. Oh, I forgot my ending. Let's do that next. No, we're going to do an ending here.
I was cold.